My name is Nello Cristianini. I am a professor of artificial intelligence at the University of Bristol. So what is happening today in artificial intelligence? Well, first of all, it is not trivial that we can translate. You can give to your computer a text in English and produce a fairly viable text in Spanish, and viable enough for it to be deployed and to be used by millions of people. And that is new, and that is remarkable. It has been a goal of research for such a long time to translate text, natural text, in a viable, usable way. Speech. We can transcribe speech. You can speak to a computer and the machine will roughly understand what you asked. Question answering. You can type or speak a question and expect a relevant answer. So these are all pieces of artificial intelligence that have come together in the last 10 years. Computer vision. You can recognize a person based on their face, in an image or in a video. That's a new development in artificial intelligence. Autonomous cars. Based on the computer vision advances and other advances, cars can navigate traffic, not always, but in many situations. So a lot of this stuff has happened in the past 10 years. There is more. You can have robot navigation, you can have recommendations, you can have spam filters. If you think about what a spam filter is, it's a software that decides what information you should read, and you trust it to censor your correspondence. A news recommendation, a software recommending what articles you may want to read. Online shops suggesting what books you may want to buy. Spelling correction. So we have so many little pieces of artificial intelligence all over our life, and they're responsible for the credit card system by detecting possible frauds, for our communications by suggesting friends on Facebook, censoring emails that you may not want to read, and so on. We just deployed artificial intelligence in so many aspects of our life, and this would have been unthinkable just a few decades ago. So that is the main news we must come to terms with, and there is more on its way. Cars will become increasingly more autonomous, to the point in which certain specific trajectories, journeys could be automated. And that will have a consequence in society. Uber is an example of a company who are investing heavily on automated cars. Obviously the vision is some journeys will not be done by human drivers. Apple with Siri, you can ask questions to the computer, expect an answer. Will that impact the way we run call centers? I can't see how not. And then everything else, we can imagine information gathering, information summarization, question answering systems. So we are in the middle of this revolution. And some have called this moment a renaissance of artificial intelligence, because it has been a long time coming. A field that hasn't delivered for a long time, suddenly now is delivering a lot of things at once. And society is absorbing them. There is a business model for it, and that is making all the difference, I think. So you're asking me, why now? Why is there a renaissance of artificial intelligence now and not 10 or 15 years ago? And that's a very important point. Hardware has improved, we got bigger and faster machines. Training has improved, there are engineers now with a set of skills. But very, very importantly, artificial intelligence today can happen because we found a way to use vast amounts of data to train machines to do those tasks. A machine can learn how to translate based on millions of translated documents that can be used as examples. And the machine can learn how to see a person if it provided with millions of human faces, for example, or handwritten digits. So it is crucial to modern artificial intelligence to have vast amounts of data as training examples. We call today's intelligence data-driven artificial intelligence or statistical artificial intelligence. It is very different from the past approaches where we try to build intelligent machines based on logic and deduction. All that is not used. We use statistics and data. So machines, intelligent machines, feed on data. Now, where do you get this data from? Well, at the same time as we built this intelligence, we also built a very vast data infrastructure. our digital infrastructure that we use to mediate our communications, that powers the internet and the web, the email, the banking transactions, that we use all the time, the telephone, the Wi-Fi, that software/hardware infrastructure is also a gigantic data gathering infrastructure as well. And artificial intelligence systems can use this data to learn. So a spell checker will just be able to see millions of written documents online and figure out the best spelling for a word. A speech recognition system could benefit perhaps from online radio streaming to learn how to pronounce words. And maybe a computer vision system could be trained based on webcams and so on. So artificial intelligence needs this data infrastructure, and the data infrastructure couldn't function anymore without artificial intelligence. The email system would be useless without a spam filter. You couldn't have a credit card system without automated fraud detection, and so on. So the two things need each other. They enable each other. Well, there are many opportunities coming from artificial intelligence today. For example, we are automating large parts of our life. We are looking into automated cars. We are looking into better, more efficient and cheaper communications, education, healthcare. There are many sectors in which artificial intelligence is going to make a big difference over the next 5 to 10 years. Now you say, what's happening with the risks? Well, the risks posed by artificial intelligence are the same risks posed by this data infrastructure. Having something that looks at our communications to model our behavior, to deliver recommendations and make suggestions, is new. Normally, if we telephoned each other, the copper cable linking our telephones didn't have much of an interest in the contents. But today, if I communicate with you, the infrastructure is interested in guessing our intentions, and it's monitoring the content for many reasons, not only for revenue, but maybe for security reasons as well. That's new. And so we have to think about, we are deploying in our life something that has access to very personal data, and there is a privacy question, something that is in the business of predicting. Insurance companies would love to know how you drive or what you eat, because that could influence your insurance levels. And then there is the new topic of persuasion. Can machines steer people? And then there is employment as well. So the challenges for society are incredible, because we are now relying on an infrastructure that is amazing, that gives us so much more value and productivity and efficiency, but that could potentially look at us, spy on us, influence us, make predictions. And I can imagine of a lot of questions that I would like to answer. So if you want, do we have the right to control the data that is being collected about us? Is your lifetime browsing history your own personal data that you control entirely? Or is it somebody else's data? How can it be used? Is it acceptable that an hospital or a school or an insurance company makes predictions about your future expected performance or health? Should it? Try. Should we accept persuasive interfaces? Is it fair that a tool online doesn't just look at us, doesn't just predict our behavior, but tries to steer our behavior? And what happens collectively on society when software is in charge of selecting what news we read? Can this have an effect on society? So these are incredibly important questions when you scale them up at social level. And on top of it, you put employment. When we are competing with a machine, we are competing downward for the price. What happens to society when a certain percent of workers has been displaced by a software? And then there is surveillance in the workplace, of course. Should we expect our online behavior in the workplace to be monitored? The keystroke pattern monitoring system. Should we measure productivity in that way? Should we observe people? Should we have access to their personal browsing? So all of these things are very important questions, all because of one technological shift that is underway today. So my suggestion is we look at them before the shift is completed, not after.